Okay, folks, this is Barefoot Grandpa, and going to do another little session today. Glad to have you here. And April on the camera, and Roxy under the seat. And finishing off my morning's coffee in a grandson mug. This time it's from Chiapas, Mexico. One of the best coffees in the world, and a wonderful place to visit. So today we're going to do version 3 of maps, and I'm going to jump into the Atlas and how to use it. And it's a wonderful tool that I'm really happy with, and got to do it. Love them, use them in combination with Google Maps and these other small maps. So thank you all for your kind comments on the leg injury. I go in for surgery tomorrow, so I'll probably be off the web for a little while, but I'll soon be back with more stories. So with that, we'll jump into the maps. So today we're going to jump into the Delorme Atlas and Gazetteer. This is a book full of great information. They come out by state. I have many states. I've got Colorado, Montana, California, Utah, Nevada, and I use them a lot. I use these combined with Google Maps to figure out where I want to go, what I want to see, and to keep from getting lost. So let's dig in. Okay, it's a good sized book. And first off, on the back, it has an overall atlas. And the cool thing is each one of these squares, and I'll dig in a little closer, corresponds to pages in the book. And we can also go to the middle section, which even breaks out. So here's the whole state of Utah broken out into squares and quadrants. And those quadrants correspond to pages in the book. And we'll get to that in a little bit more. First off, we'll take a look at the legend here. And the legend's pretty cool. We've got purple, which is national parks. We've got green, which is USDA Forest Service or national forests. US Fish and Wildlife, Department of Defense, those are like military bases. I got Bureau of Land Management, which tends to be more the desert, drier areas without forests. State Wildlife Management Areas, State Land Trust, Indian Reservation. And here are the roads, the main roads. Limited access to freeways. Toll roads. There aren't any toll roads in Utah, but there are in a lot of other states. U.S. route, state route, connecting roads, street or road. And then we'll go to the finer legend. That shows quite a bit more. So here we go. We've got our main roads again. And then we drop down to dash marks, which is street or road, and generally these are unmaintained. This is be a maintained road. The hashes might be unmaintained. Local road, unimproved. There we're starting to get into Jeep roads or four-wheel drive roads. And we've got trails, Great Western Trail, which is pretty cool. And railroads, abandoned railroads, power lines, all kinds of good stuff here. So and here we've got the boundaries, state boundaries, county boundaries, military, Indian, national forest. Really good stuff. All this stuff helps you read the map. So we've got a dam, we've got wetlands, swamp, intermittent water, dry lake, distorted surface. Cool, that's like desert stuff. Woodland or forests, contour lines. We'll talk about contour lines in a minute. Got parks, mines, hospitals, information, rest area, all this good stuff. All this great stuff that is not really easily found on the Google. So again, here we've got another breakdown of the whole state by page number. And the cool thing about these is there's a whole lot more information. We've got an index. Say if we want to find Kanab, There's Kanab. That's a small town in southern Utah. It's on page 58 on D2. If you remember, each map will have A, B, C, D across the top and numbers across the bottom. So you come across here to D and come down to 2, and there will be Kanab. Not on this page, but it'll be on the other page. We got introduction, we got recreation, travel, state facts. What's the capital? Capital is Salt Lake City. It's the 45th state in 1896. Lots of fun stuff. Information, campgrounds, fishing. Unique natural features, and Utah has bunches. So here's a fiery furnace. That's in Arches National Park. That'll be on page 46 on C4. Maze of exposed sandstone fins and pinnacles. I've been on the outside of that. I haven't been in it. But all kinds of cool stuff. Fisher Towers, I've been there. Flaming Gorge, yeah, I've been there. Glen Canyon, all kinds of good stuff. You want to find out about fishing? Here's creeks and lakes and the type of fish you can find. Okay, rainbow trout, cutthroat, catfish, bluegill, striped bass. So for you fisher people, you can find good stuff here. Can't really find that easily on the Google. Recreation areas, again, Antelope Island State Park, Promontory Point. I think that's near Salt Lake City. The page, the acreage, all kinds of good stuff about it, what you can do there. You can horseback ride, you can hike, all kinds of good stuff. Same thing, campgrounds and family outings. What do you want to do when you're there? Here's an energy solutions area, Fish Lake Scenic Byway. Ooh, Loa, I've been there. Lots of cool stuff that you can find here that will help you plan your trip. Outdoor adventures, okay, hiking, Black Dragon Canyon, Green River, I might have been close to that. Biking is huge in, mountain biking especially is huge in Utah. And even skiing, so there's a lot of good ski resorts. Bryan Head, I think that's the highest ski resort in the USA. I think it's like at 11,000 feet. So now we'll jump into an actual page. And dig in a little bit more. So overall, okay, here what we've got is page 60. And what we've got is page Arizona, Lake Powell. Okay, this down here is native lands. This is Navajo Nation or Dene Nation. And then this up here is all BLM land and Escalante Staircase National Monument. So that's a purple. Okay, if we dig in closer, we come down here and we see state roads paved. Here's 98, here's a street, and then there's dirt roads. Now if you'll wait a minute, that state road has a line on it. Well, that's because once I drive on one of these roads, I like to draw on it to show that I've already been on it. So this is a famous road. It's Hole in the Wall Road, and it runs all the way down to Hole in the Rock. And this was a famous Mormon crossing where they brought wagons up this really rugged cliff and then all the way through on their way to Escalante, Utah. If we'll dig in closer, we can see that Hole in the Rock Road is non-paved, and it's got really bad washboard. And then we start seeing small roads that go off. This is like a four-wheel drive road, another four-wheel drive road. We got a bench road here, little bit improved. This means it's been graded. And come on up. The Egypt, you'll find really kind of neat things. There's some slot canyons up there that are really worth looking at. Here's a road that I haven't been on. It's called Left Hand Canyon. Left Hand Collet Canyon. I haven't been on that. I think I'm going to have to explore that. I've been all through this plateau on a different road. But this shows you what you can find as far as roads go. And then here we can see some of the topography. We can see that there's canyons. Out here it's flatlands, there's hills, this is rugged. Probably not going to want to try and drive through there. Can't, it's just no roads. Okay. And we got Glen Canyon National Recreation Area, Hall's Crossing. Hey, there's another road I haven't been on. I'm going to have to explore that. Ooh, here's one that I have been on. And if we look here, we can see I've been on a lot of these roads. These are really cool. This is Capitol Reef up here, National Park. We've got the Dixie National Forest. We've got Highway 12, which is one of the most scenic roads in the USA. And little bits of this area right here is White Knuckle Road. You're driving on the top of a ridge top that falls off on both sides. Drivers need to pay attention. Passengers look, or sometimes they look down at their feet. But it's really cool and a beautiful road. So you can see that I've been on a lot of these roads. This is actually really gorgeous here. This is the Nodum Road. And this is country that you do not want to drive in the wintertime or when it's raining. The roads become completely impassable. So we've covered roads, we've covered national parks. See, this is blue, national forest, that's green. Here's some topography. Here's Henry Mountains, which is a really cool, beautiful area. Not spectacular like the Rockies, but interesting. And it was one of the last mountain ranges in the US to be mapped and fully explored. And guess what? I've got more exploring that I can do in these roads here. I haven't been on any of those. And then we're out into the deserts, the Burr Desert, and then again back down to Glen Canyon and Lake Powell. Contour lines. Okay, if we can see these here, and what this map does, when we get into the mountains, it shows contour lines. And that's these squiggly lines that denote or show the steepness of the mountain. We see that these contour lines are fairly far apart. That means that we're not, that means that it's relatively flat or not too steep. Where the lines get really close together, that means it's really steep. So if you're looking at a road that you want to try on, this road is going to come up really steeply. And this trail here is going to be really steep. So look at your contour lines. The best maps for contour lines are the topographical maps, which we'll show at another time. So we got mountains, we got lakes, we got plains, we got flats, we got desert. We've got geological features like the Water Pocket Fold, which is spectacular. Again, forests, roads, all of this great stuff that you can find in the Gazetteer Atlas map. Now you can find these on Amazon or any good bookstore will have them. Barnes & Noble has them, different bookstores will have them, and if they don't, they can probably order them. I'm not being sponsored by Delorme, but I just really like them and use them, and I think it's a really, really handy tool. So that's it for today section with the maps. As you can see, I'm a mapaholic. Lots of good maps. These National Geographic maps are amazing. We move into local little areas. Sometimes the BLM will have maps by area. National parks have great maps. All of this stuff is really good, which will help you much more than what you can find on the Google. So folks, that's it for today's section, map section number 3, concentrating on the Atlas and Gazetteer. Well, that's it for today's section, number 3 episode on maps and concentrating on the Gazetteer and the Atlas. Love my maps. I think they're an awesome tool. And we will see you sometime after surgery, maybe a week or two before I feel like doing much. So enjoy the wild, take care, be good humans, and until next time, this is Barefoot Grandpa.